SecureAuth for Cisco IPSec clients integration, and how this can improve your security and how it can save costs by reducing administration and providing a better, strong authentication model for you to use. Now, real quick, just a review of what the Cisco IPSec client is and some of the challenges that revolve around deploying this for your secure remote access solution. Okay, the IPSec client provides IPSec encryption and tunneling of private data. This is how we connect our private networks together, but it's also become how we can allow people to securely, remotely access our networks, our data, our resources. Now, the IPSec client itself is compatible with multiple Cisco products. A number of years ago, Cisco had multiple IPSec clients, but they had IPSec enabled on multiple devices, and they went through a phase where they created this thing called the Unity client. And they don't really call it that anymore, but it is the same thing. The same IPSec client is compatible with your Cisco ASA, your PICs, your routers, your switches that support remote access, client-based IPSec VPN, and your old VPN concentrators. And because SecureAuth is integrated with the client, SecureAuth therefore is able to support remote access and provide strong authentication for those clients to access any one of those different models of IPSec. Now, the IPSec client, the connections are based on profiles from which the user chooses. You can see in my screenshot there that I only have a single profile. Many organizations will have multiple profiles, and that'll contain information about the connection, maybe backup servers. Basically, it simplifies the experience for the end user to pick someplace close to them and reach out and create that connection. Now, the IPSec client itself is either installed and maintained by an IT department, or it's manually installed by an end user. And the profiles are either packaged with the installation by an IT group, or they have to be configured by the end user with some kind of IT support, either documentation that walks them through the different fields they need to enter, or often over the phone, or today it may be done with a remote access assistance type of model as well. Now, the IPSec configuration looks like this. Basically, it's a container for the variety of information that is required for the client to connect. Now, the client allows for the manual configuration of profiles, and it requires certain information. It has to have a host name. It has to know where to connect. And it is usually secured using group authentication. And you can see in this that we have an example. And that group authentication is based on a shared secret password. Most people never have to see this interface because the IT groups are able to package these profiles into the IPSec installer and distribute them. But that means one of two things. Either your IT group has to package these up, or you have to contact end users, and in your documentation, you have to distribute that shared secret password. But one way or another, that shared secret has to make its way out to the IPSec client for it to be able to connect to the network. Now, that GUI is really just a front end for a text file. And that text file contains all of the different information that is required for the connection, including the shared secret password, which is hashed. And you know, it's a known algorithm. It can be brute forced, and that shared secret is out there. So it's not simply readable, but there are a lot of tools out there, and it is crackable. But even more than just having the shared secret hashed and sitting out there, the profile is stored in a known location and has to be readable by that user process. So this text file can be copied and placed on a new system. It is portable. So I can pick this up, and if I were to choose, I would be able to install the IPSec client on my home computer, and if I knew to go and copy this, I would reduce the security of our remote access into username and password. Because that shared secret, that profile that contains that is portable, and if that gets loose or is compromised by malicious software that may be running on a host, the security of the system is reduced to the username plus the password.